I was called to come and diagnose this Highlander 2015, and it's having a oxygen sensor circuit issue. So after doing my further diagnosing, I found out that the socket, you can now see that it has two gold color. These two gold color means they are for the signal, the oxygen sensor signal, and these two different colors, which is the silver colors, are for the heater circuit. But it seems there is an error here. So with the heater circuit, you have to get a bias voltage on one side. You have to get a bias voltage on one side, and also another voltage that will send the signal. But now due to my test, I found out I got the power from this one, which is pin 2, so I got my power from pin 2, and I tested for ground, and now the test light is working, and this one also, the test light is working. But for the oxygen sensor on Toyota, I have to get a bias voltage on one. So instead of this one giving me a bias voltage, it is giving me a ground circuit, and this one also is giving me a ground circuit. So what I'll do is, the system is reporting circuit failure or circuit malfunction, and if I test with my multimeter, I get the bias voltage on this one. So if I want to find out the O2 sensor, or if I want to find out the actual wire which is sending signal, so what I'll do is, this pin is the one that sends the signal to the O2 sensor. So when you come here, you can see, you will see my voltage is at 0, which is O2 sensor bank 2 sensor 2. So now I'll test it to the signal, and it wouldn't hurt the system because my test light has a resistance, it has a resistance in it. So whenever I test it, you see the circuit starts to read. So you see the jump there. So when I test it, the light comes on, but you see the jump whenever I test it. So I'll relax for a while. The key is on. So I'll just test it again, and you see the jump. So that means that's my signal circuit. So now what I'll do is, I'll interchange the wires. So that means I have to bring this bias voltage, and when I came to the bank 1 to check which is reading,
number you're calling is busy.
you can
Please
see
try again
anytime
later.
I touch,
The number you're calling is busy. Please try again later.
Anytime I touch it with it, you can see the voltage goes up, and it is around 1.4. It's around 1.4. So when I release it, you can see the voltage goes down. But when I touch it again, you can see the voltage goes up. When I touch it, you can see the voltage goes up, and it's around 1.4, 1.3. So I'll check the other side and see what. So now, after working out, the customer bought a short O2 sensor. So that means anytime the cable was short, so when he took to the other shop, they connected a cable to it and to the sensor, so that they can extend the length. So they joined it at this side, and I checked the reason why it is shorted to ground, and I checked here also. So I will explain something to you shortly. So after changing the sensor, you can see this is a heat shield. I said this is a ground shield to the signal wire, and I think the person who joined the ground shield to the actual wire itself. So you can see the ground shield. Focus. You can see it has been joined to the actual wire, although the wire connection is okay. The ground shield has been joined to it, so it turns it to ground where the sensor is. because of the ground shield, so it turns it to ground. So you see, whenever I attach a test light to it, it lights up, which supposed not to light up because of the because of the ground here. So this one's supposed not to light up, and because of the ground shield, it lights up. Because of the shield, whenever I test the O2 signal, it gives me ground, which supposed not to give me ground. I'm supposed to get, like, it's supposed not to light up. So it draws the current down. And you see, anytime I touch it, the current doesn't go high a bit because it is drawn to ground. So what I'll do is I'll take the shield out, and now I'll test it again and give you the feedback. So now I have taken the heat shield out. This is the heat shield ground. I said the heat shield. This is the ground around the signal wire to help it transmit. So now I've taken it out. I took it out from the wire where they joined the wire. So they join it at this point. So now after taking the shield, this is the ground, and if I test it, it will light the test light. You see, it gives the test light power. This is the ground, and it was joined to the wire. So now I've taken that ground out. So I'll come and test the oxygen sensor again and see if it will come up. So testing it again, now the light is not turning on, and if you check here, it's supposed to give me around, I'm supposed to have around 1.3 or 1.2 volts because of the resistance in the Tesla. So whenever I touch it, you see it gives me 1.275 volts. So that means now the circuit issue is gone, and now everything is working okay. That's sensor 1 bank 2. It's a bank 2 sensor 2, and now I'll fix it back and run it on the vehicle. But first I'll fix it back and run the vehicle and see if the oxygen sensor itself is working. So we'll go. There is the fourth code. There is the fourth code that the car was given, which I was called to come and see to it. So there is the fourth code, P0156, O2 sensor circuit, bank 1 sensor 2. So now I'll raise the fourth code, a bank 2 sensor 2. I'll raise the fourth code, go to live data, and select the O2 sensor. So now I'll fix the bank 1 sensor 2 also. A bank 1 sensor 2 also. I'll fix the socket back, and I'll run and test the whole vehicle. So now the sensor 1 and sensor 2 are working equally, and you can see the impedance are changing, and the heater circuit also is changing. So the problem is fixed, and now both of them can go to active and inactive. So now the problem is fixed, and the sensors are working. The sensors are now working, and you can see the actual voltage of both bank 1 and bank 2. So now I'm done diagnosing. You can subscribe for more videos. Thank you.